Hello, hello. This is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update. So, welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. It feels like I haven't been here in a while. And it has. It has been a minute. I just can't keep up. Things are going too fast. And I'm going to talk about this in this update. Like time is definitely speeding up for a lot of people. And on the opposite side, other people are experiencing time slowing down for them. So, as I always say, it always depends where you're at on your journey. If you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, if you've been keeping aligned and balanced and steady, perhaps you're feeling that time going faster than it used to be. Perhaps you are um, seeing the results of your efforts and manifestations coming true in your life at this point, because this is a very high time for manifestation. And if you've been clearing and working on yourself, you made enough space in your life to welcome these manifestations. And sometimes they show up in a different way than we had envisioned or differently than we thought. Meaning, you know how when we have a really strong desire for something, for someone, for, things to change or not change, this and that, and we clearly see that vision and we attach an energy to it, an intention, because we want to see it come true. Well, the universe responds with the energy behind. And it will always work in your favor and in your highest good to bring you that manifestation. And sometimes it just doesn't show up in the packaging that we thought it would. And that's fine. That's okay. Those are usually beautiful surprises that show up unannounced in your life. And if you dig deep enough, you will get the chance to see what's in there for you and why was that sent to you instead of the exact vision that you had. Because sometimes, even though we try not to, when we try to manifest something, it can definitely happen that our ego gets in the way a little bit and we tend to want things exactly the way we see them, exactly the way we want them, and they may just show up dressed differently. And all we need to do is be open about it, be welcoming, and go down that road if it feels right. You have something to learn there, you have something to get, or something to experience on that path. And you need to go. You need to go walk right there on that path, see what is there for you. If it's fine by you, stay there. If it's not fine, change directions. And that's all. And all of this is happening at a time where time is definitely speeding up for a lot of people, because all of these people that either always seem to be ahead of the game or the wave or behind are actually in the opposite spectrum of the rest of the world. So the way to explain this is, imagine the world if it was split in two, which is what we're going through right now, a split of the earth. So there's always this wave that is completely on a different vibe than the other wave. And those roles get like exchanged every once in a while. So just for the perspective of feeling ahead or behind of the game, all of this to say that even when you're feeling like you're behind the wave, you are not. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And all you need to do is play your role, be a service to other people, take your place, take your space, clean it up, stay aligned and balanced, and you'll see this thing will shift for you when it's the right time. So if you're amongst the people that are feeling that time is speeding up, just hang in there, because we are not done seeing this. We are totally not done feeling this pressure, this wind trying to push us forward. We are not done seeing this. On the other hand, if you are feeling like you're behind the wave, that's okay. Rest assured that you are exactly where you need to be. And what you need to do at this point is dig deep. Find out what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, and work on it. You don't have to do everything all at once. That's actually impossible to do, because when we dig deep, very, very deep, we find that there are multiple layers that need to be healed. Whether it is from this lifetime or a past lifetime, there are many layers, and it is quite impossible for the nervous system to handle all of that all at once. It needs to be done bits by bit, every day, a little every day. When it comes to twin flames, again, so many things happening on that level, especially for the divine masculine, which they are going through like a really, really hard time. I've been saying this over and over and over, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of divine masculine have been so stubborn that everything is coming back up to the surface to be acknowledged and changed, meaning healed. The only way you can change something is by healing it, by using alchemy to heal it. Either change your perspective or really heal it. And for a lot of them, they're just totally closed off. They don't want to talk. They don't want to see. They don't want to, mingle with other people. They just want to be left alone. If that rings true for you, remember how it was at the beginning of your spiritual awakening. There was probably a phase in there where you didn't want to see anyone either, where you needed to be alone. You needed that alone time to reflect and to make space and to clean up and to understand what your thoughts were about or are about, and make sense of it all and get rid of those circling thoughts that are just adding on pressure into your energy field. That's what the divine masculine is going through, and they're having a really hard time holding steady. They're exhausted. It's like a marathon for them, and they can't seem to see the finish line. That can be very painful to go through, because when you don't see the finish line, it's easy to get discouraged, and it's easy to want to throw in the towel. And it's also very easy to just say, you know what, fuck this. And I know I always say too many ends. I'm sorry about that, but still, when I do these updates, it's not scripted. It just comes out. So I follow whatever is coming out. For a lot of the divine masculine, they're on the verge of either exploding and being propelled forward or really giving up. And that's okay. That's okay. If that's what you're feeling in your twin flame connection, sit with it for a moment before starting to freak out. I'm not saying this to freak anybody out. It's just that it happens. Maybe they're not ready. All of this to say that if you're in a twin flame connection and you haven't seen movement in quite some time in your connection, if you haven't been in communication with your twin, perhaps your twin has decided to just stay there for a moment, and maybe you will get to experience something else. It's usually in those moments where people will meet soulmates, life partners, or other great relationship, romantic potential. The twin flame story, at the basics of it, is not a romantic story, even though it is. It's not a romantic story. It's a story to make you awakened, to make you more aware, and to allow you to see your reflection in the mirror. And once you've achieved a high level of healing and work on yourself, you tend to get that reflection from more people than just your twin flame. That's where the game gets really interesting for a lot of people, and that's usually where we see I went off with the soulmate because my twin flame was not ready. Even though everybody has their free will, there is divine timing and everything and divine intervention. But a person can decide to, just slow things down. This is going too fast for me. This is not what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you decide to see this, a lot of divine masculine are like holding on. They're just waiting. They have a hard time handling their emotions, their anger. They have a hard time processing that anger. They have a hard time processing their lives, their past, including inner child stuff. Lately, in the past 2 weeks, a lot of stuff has been happening in the inner child for the divine masculine. Big blocks were released, and for others, it was like, no, I know it's there, but I'm not ready to handle this right now. I cannot take a look at it. I cannot start healing this in no way I can't. So I can't. So they are just, kind of like chilling there for a moment until they make a decision and until they move forward again, whether it is a conscious decision or not. Because at one point, the universe will come in and bring them what they need for them to move forward. And this time, we are also going through a major all capital letters chakra expansion. And again, if we look at it from the duality perspective, the opposite end of this is trigger town. So if you are going through a heart chakra expansion, this is usually where we have chest pains, or in the middle of your shoulder blade, you feel tension, you feel anxiety, you feel your heart going nuts at times, palpitations, you feel your breath is changing, and you feel either short of breath or, oh my God, I can breathe deeper now. That's usually a time where you manifest things because your heart is expanding and it's wide open, so you're able to manifest quicker. If on the other end you are in the trigger town or about to, which will happen for a lot of people are set to walk through this cloud of triggers to show them what needs to be released. A lot of people have had that blindfold on their eyes for quite some time, refusing to see, and I'm talking divine feminine, divine masculine here, refusing to see the truth for what it is, and they kept on living in their fantasies. It's okay to have fantasies because that's how we manifest. But sometimes the fantasy is taken way too far, and we need to ground ourselves a little better and see things for what they are and accept them, heal them, and move forward. So unfortunately, a lot of people are set for that phase of trigger town, and it will show up in like unexpected situations, unexpected stories, unexpected ending, like abrupt ending for a lot of people. But yet again, if you remember how it was for you at the beginning of your spiritual awakening and ascension, you probably had that too. I know I did. I know I was seeing things and I was resisting. I was refusing to, take a look deeper until the universe said, you know what, girl, today, this is your day. We're taking this thing off your life. See how you're going to do without it. And then starts the healing process, which lasts, you know, many days, weeks, months, years, whatever. So Trigger Town is here for a lot of people. And if you look at the big picture, it's a split of the earth in all ways, like 360, all ways. The duality energies are extremely high. And that split is happening everywhere, in everyone. Everyone is experiencing it. Either, no matter if you are on the more positive side of it, ascending, expanding, or on the more negative side of it, where you feel like you are regressing. Rest assured, you are not regressing. You are just taking a step back to take 3 more forward. It can definitely be stressful to be in those moments, in those times where your mind is going to 100 miles an hour, where your ego is trying to scare you and try to take all the space that it can possibly can. And really, the only thing to do is slow the fuck down. I'm sorry for my language, but usually this is where we see people going nuts, spinning around, being, lightheaded, like a chicken without a head, running around. That's the opposite. The opposite needs to happen. It's a time to slow down. It's a time to breathe, connect to your heart, and do the work. And I know that when those times showed up for me, what helped me was to think about high achieving athletes, what they need to do to achieve those records. They do a whole lot of compromise on everything, on social life, on the way they eat. They have to train many hours a day. They have to go to bed early. And I would put myself in that mind frame, in that mindset, pretending that I was an athlete. And of course, I wasn't saying anything about that to no one because, just because. But I was pretending that I was like this athlete that I needed to get ready for this like big competition. And that's what got me through. The other day, I was watching on London Real TV the interview with Georges St-Pierre, who's an MMA fighter here. He's from my area, the world, in Montreal. And that's exactly what he was saying. In his training, he would pretend that his opponent was training with him. So that would help him visualize and also get his mind really, really sharp on what he needed to do. So that's my piece of advice here in this update, is that if you feel triggered for no reason all the time, slow down, really just chill out, relax. Don't get, I want to say overwhelmed, but that's not the right word. But don't get like ahead of yourself, Just don't. Stay humble. Stay true to yourself. And listen to what your friends have to tell you, because usually, or most of the time, they are the ones who will tell you, you know what, you're acting a little bit out of character these days. What's going on with you? And make sure that your self-care routine is perfect, because that also will get you through that hard phase. It is a great time to be alive. It is also a great time to accept that weird is the new normal. Meaning that the normal, as we knew it before, is gone. It's just gone. It's the true great awakening on earth. And whoever was perceived as being weird before, that will become the norm. Just like spiritual people, just like people talking about spiritual ascension and all those psychics awakening, the psychic gifts, when you start awakening them, it's very possible that people around you look at you and tell you, dude, you're weird. But that is becoming the new normal, and that's all part of the big plan that we're in, and where we each have a very important role to play. And that role is specific to us. It's specific to our soul and to our heart. And what we need to do is embody it for real in your body, not behind closed doors, but in your body, in all actions that you do throughout your day. All of them. When you feel that you're disconnected from that plan, from that role, you need to get yourself back in it quickly, because it's not going to work to stay disconnected from it. What else? What else is, we have a new moon coming up September 17th. This one will bring, again, new energies, just like every new moon. And it will also act as a break. It feels like it will bring a break, an ending to something and a beginning to something. A new beginning, actually, just like the new moon is supposed to be doing. And in that matter, in that alignment of the energies, like I was saying, some twin flames will meet soulmates and life partners, and some of them will take the decision to go in that direction, and others will decide to stay on the twin flame path. Only you can make that decision. Only you and your heart and your soul can help you with the guidance of what you need to do. It's a difficult choice nonetheless, but think about it. Just think about it. See how you vibe with it. If the universe is bringing you a soulmate or a life partner, it's for a reason. Either to test you how committed you are to the twin flame path, or how you're ready for something different. And if you're not meant to stay the rest of your life with your soulmate, you just won't stay with them. And then, you'll be able to catch up in the twin flame journey. But don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying quit the twin flame path. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that lately, a lot of twin flame talks are out there, and a lot of people are think they are on a twin flame path when they're not. Trust me, when you are on one, there is no words that I know of that can describe how it messes everything in your life. And it's not your twin flame's fault. It's a higher contract from the soul, but it does change everything, but really everything. Absolutely everything. I wish I knew a word to describe that feeling, but I don't. And it's obvious when you are on the twin flame path. It's very, very, very obvious. So just chill. Chill. Go slow. Take it easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself if that happens to you. If you're having a hard time seeing clearly. We're all pushed to use our guidance and our intuition as a navigating tool to be a human in or on the new earth. Some have this tool more developed than others, but everybody is getting a push in the back to open this channel up. This is why we're here, alive at this time. This is why we're witnesses of the Great Awakening, because we decided to. This starts far beyond this life. It's in your soul imprint. It's in your Akashic record. It's in you, in your DNA. So yeah, think about that for a moment and decide which role you want to play. And no matter what decisions you take, at the end of the day, if you've stayed true to yourself and to your mission, to your service, to your role, everything will be fine. No matter what happens, everything will be fine. Everything. Stay connected to your heart. So, That's it for now. Thank you for being here. You can follow me on social media at Indigo Girl 555 on Instagram, at Indigo Girls Readings on Facebook. You can also get in touch with me using my email at indigogirl555 at gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.